Hello everyone, I'm here today to present our project which was mainly focused on modern solution to hard water filtration system. So for the background, having access to clean drinkable water has been one of the humanity's greatest issues since the Roman Empire. And when aqueducts were first created for water transportation, over centuries we have come to realize that there is a process necessary to filter and remove impurities from water, and our group has been research biological methods for solving this issue due to the perfection of nature. This is more efficient to study organisms that already possess the capability rather than designing a whole new filtration system. We took inspiration from nature, loofah, okra, beetroot, fiber, and powder, as well as sapwood to tackle this issue. We're going to start by presenting the problem tree. So, our problem right here is that our water can be an everyone inconvenience due to soap, scum, dry hair, and skin and sketchy residue left on the skin. But what is that for though? Where is that coming from? One of the main causes are the surplus of dissolved mineral in the water. Usually the amount of minerals that we need is a way more inferior than the percentage present in the water, which makes it kind of dangerous for our organism. The second one is the Midwest and the Southwest region of United States, of course, have excessive percentage of calcium and magnesium. Due to that, which is kind of related to the first one, due to the fact that there is a lot of minerals in certain place, the water turned to be contaminated. So the second one, the surface of mineral leaves, soap, film, and or scum. So those ones are mostly coming from us, from our pollution, from human being, utilization. Then those main causes have got a lot of more, we say, important causes too related to them. We're gonna take one for each of them. So for the first problem, when water flows through limestone and chalk deposit, it dissolves minerals stored in them. So we all know that the drinkable water that we have come from the rain, most of the time. For countries where there is no aquifer, the country is not rich enough to dig and take water from the underground. And so during in those countries where we dig in order to get the water, we face some issues. The under surface, ground surface, is full of minerals, but those minerals are not always good for us, or not in only in a small amount that can be absorbed by our body. The second one is the deposit in the region result in the hard water. When you store water in big container, sometimes we have a deposit due to the long time passed by the water in this container. And generally, the container that we use get, the microparticles get transferred to the water. And then the other one is the soap cannot be properly washed out. as we all know, the soap, most of our soap here in the United States are chemically based. That means it's made by us. And usually the chemicals we made are most likely to be, hard to dissolve in water, in nature, to be just absorbed and you reutilize it because it's not natural. It's man-made, my bad. Then the effect of these causes are mineral buildup inside your organism that can be kind of harmful for your body. And we have inefficiency in removing soap from hair and skin. That part is likely to be the main issue here, like for people with long hair and girls, because the soap get inside and somehow difficult to just wash away or wash out. And those effects have second effect, multiple ones, but we're gonna take one for the first one and two for the second one, so we can easily explain this part, the second effect. For the first effect, we can clog pipes, which means that we have to dig because most of our water transportation are underground, so we have to dig in order to fix the pipes, and it costs money. For the second one, we have dry fizzy hair and dry itchy skin. It's pretty uncomfortable to take a shower, get out of the shower, you have to go to school or you have to go to the job, but you have itchy skin and you feel not comfortable, you won't be able to walk properly. For the second effect on the same main effect, now since soap is left behind, it strips hair and skin of its natural oil. So the fact that there is soap inside on your scalp, for example, you lost oil, but the oil that your body produces is for your hair sanity. That's what for the problem treat. Then there is the bio-inspired process that we have, a filtration system with 5 layers, and each of them get beetroot powder, beetroot fiber, xylem tissue, okra, and then loofah. And then I'm gonna explain here why we did choose this order. So for the first one, it removes fine particles and sediment. So fine particles gonna be retained when there is like bigger gonna go and be filtered by the other one. For the second layer, removes suspended solids like rocks, like little rocks, or kind of crystal, mineral crystal. And then the third part, remove organic contaminant and stops bacteria from growing. So for that part, it's in order to avoid the accumulation of bacteria, for example, or sometimes there is contaminated water. That means one pipe is like have a hole, so the ground get inside the pipe and the water get contaminated. For the fourth part, this removes inorganic component, metals and non-metals. When you talk about metals and non-metals, that means tough chemical, if I can say, tough chemical with strong boundaries between them, such as iron, sometimes gold, copper, because the pipe are usually made with copper or like iron, or like a mixture of both of them. And then for the fifth part, my bad, remove ultra fine particles. That part it's for microplastics, and really tiny particles. So the plant-based solution we research, the loofah, the okra, the beetroot, the xylem tissue in gymnosperm sapwood, all contain biological agents that have proven to reduce elevated concentration of calcium and magnesium and other harmful minerals that are in nature. That you can find within the water, and that was for the biologics. For the discovery part, the discovery part is mainly to explain to you why we did choose the element we chose. So the okra. For the okra natural coagulant with an antimicrobial and heavy metal removal properties. So basically, the okra has a natural coagulant inside. That means it can retain tiny particle when this function is applied, when coagulate, and retain it so it can be separate from the water. For the beef roots, that's kind of the same, heavy metals and retention, and hence retention when groups strong for leads, weakest for nickel, for example, function via cellulose and pectin structure biomimetics of wetland plants. Seems pretty long and complicated, but just to tell you that the beef root fiber can retain heavy metals like the okra does with the coagulation. For the beef root powder, that's another part, because the beef root powder have 98% heavy metal retention after first filtration pass. That means not like the beetroot where we might need two more filtration process. In here with the beetroot powder, by mixing both of them, we have kind of better efficiency on the filtration. For the loofah, developed into a super hydrophobic sponge for oil microplastic removal, 99% absorption efficiency, and cheap, biodegradable, and reusable, and durable. That are the reason why we use the loofah. So to explain, the loofah absorption is pretty great. That means it can contain water. So during the filtration, they're gonna absorb the water and then filtrate it as it's a removal microplastic. So that's for one part of the microplastic, and in case that's one, since it's 99%, so we have 1% left, we can actually use the micellar tissue that natural filtration via straw-like xylem channels, an MIT study, according to MIT study, and remove 99% of Escherichia coli, which is a bacteria, and rotavirus. Have a long shelf life, long cost, and efficiency. And those are the references for those information. Then hard water is defined by water that has increased level of minerals such as calcium, magnesium, limestone, and chalk. So hard water basically is just the water that contains a lot of minerals, which can be pretty harmful for our body. That's the ingredient. So as the water during the filtration, as the water moves through two beetroot layer, heavy metals, calcium, and salt will be removed. So right here, you see the powder, the beetroot powder, and fiber. And then when the water moves to the xylem tissue layer, pathogens and bacteria are removed. So that's part. So when the water comes here, there is no more minerals in here. In here, we are more, about treating bacteria and virus, things that can really hurt your body. And then the okra provides a secondary heavy metal removal, just in case that doesn't work over here, get cut here. And then lastly, the loofah is the super hydrophobic sponge, which has proved to absorb microplastic or separation and other water contaminants. So the last part here is really important. That's why we put the super hydrophobic sponge characteristic here is mainly important. The filtration system has to be quick, but in order to ensure a good quality, the water at the end needs to flow slowly. And that's how I'm gonna do the evaluate part, the life cycle analysis. The sources, almost all sources that we did use was from nature. That means we can easily recreate them in labs, especially the fiber, especially the mucilage of the okra, for example. Its capability to coagulate is due to one chemical, so just replicate this chemical and use it in order to just use a lot of okra. The manufacturing is quite simple because we are talking about vegetables. As you know, vegetable and fruit got minerals and vitamins that we duplicate really easily, like the magnesium or the C vitamins, B vitamins, and chalk, for example, that we use to climb. It's pretty easy to do. And then the use is reusable. So if you order a filtration system, for example, and then this filtration system has any issue, you can just reuse the one that we just take from you in order to create a new one that you can just use instead of the one you just broken. And then the disposal. After that, all components of the filtration system can be used as what is the name again? As organic growing plants. I think it's that in order to fertilize the field and just spread the cement inside the plant. So that's cycle analysis prove that from the source to the disposal, our product, it's totally in, how can I say that, that will fit with nature cycle. Thank you.